Good morning, everyone. Hope you are well. Hope you can hear me too, because there's some men doing some drilling. No, not some drilling. They're cutting into the pavement, so it's making a right racket down there. But that is that's my Friday gym session done. That is pull sorted, and I am now on my way back home to get some work done. My parents are there. They've been there now. Today's their second full day, so they arrived. Let me just put this in here. They arrived fairly late on Wednesday evening. So yesterday, what is this doing? Trying to put this t-shirt here so I don't sweat all over the car. Yeah, arrived quite late Wednesday evening. So yesterday was their first full day, and it was pretty grim weather-wise. But it was what it was. Why has this gone a bit funny? Let me turn this down. Dear oh dear. So they had a fairly leisurely morning. Yeah, after a pretty late arrival on Wednesday night, and then they managed to get themselves out for a couple of little walks in the day, pretty much just to go to the supermarket to pick up some stuff. This is a nightmare. Let me just try and get my way out of here without crashing. Here we go. Yeah, so they had a fairly quiet day yesterday, just chilling out, getting used to things, settling in a bit, and then today they'll have a much better day. So I think they're going to take themselves off into town, have a little wander around, because it isn't actually raining today, and yesterday it was grim pretty much all day. It rained. I think there was a tiny little bit of a gap. I managed to get out for a very, very short walk with them in the afternoon, just to have a bit of a catch up in between work, etc. And then Louis was very excited to see them yesterday when he got home from the childminders. So that was really, really nice. He's at the childminders again today, but today is his last day for a week. So then next week, they'll have lots and lots of time to spend together, which is going to be fantastic. So yeah, I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update as we head into the weekend. It's been an all right week. I won't say it's been the best of weeks. I've felt quite tired. The scale hasn't really been playing ball. I saw a little bit of a drop, obviously, like last week. We saw a decent sort of couple of pounds come off from the week to week. This week's been a little bit more steady and stable. It's about half a pound down, 0.6 of a pound down from Tuesday to Thursday. And then it bounced up again a little bit this morning, not massively, but a little bit of a bounce back up again. Why is this guy driving really slow? So I'm hoping that things will come back down again over the next few days, and before we get to check in again on Tuesday. Sometimes it happens, I feel leaner. I feel like I look better. What is going on? Why can't people drive? Yeah, I feel like I look better. I feel a bit leaner. I had been struggling a little bit to get any kind of pump in the gym, which is always frustrating. It can happen, when you are in sort of fat loss phases, particularly when you're pushing them fairly aggressively, and also when you're training fasted, you haven't necessarily got the glycogen and stuff in the system to really get that pump sensation. So some of those sessions, things have moved, weights moved, exercise and stuff has happened, but it's just been a bit, sometimes you come away just feeling a bit rubbish about the session because you haven't managed to get much of a pump on. But yeah, it's you have to ride through these sessions. They happen. But this morning's was much better. So yeah, it was my pull session today, back and biceps, and felt pretty good in it. Managed to actually see a bicep vein, which is always a nice little win. Especially as someone who isn't particularly vascular generally, seeing a little bit of the vascularity come out is always nice for me to see. So yeah, that was cool. Nice for that little bit of stuff to happen. Just on my way back, so I'll crack on with some work. Like I say, Lara's working today as well. Mum and Dad are probably going to take themselves off into town. So I'll just make sure I've got everything done. If I manage to get a little bit of a gap, then I may head in to see them later on. But if not, then we'll see them all this evening. Louis finishes an hour early on a Friday anyway, so he'll get a little bit more time with everyone before he goes down, and we do bedtime routines. And then we can all have a nice catch up and enjoy the weekend. I don't think we've got anything in particular planned for the weekend because I don't know that the weather is meant to be all that good. So we shall see what is going to happen. And then Lara and I are off to Amsterdam next weekend. So that'll be a much busier one, of course. But anyway, nearly home. I will try and get a little bit more stuff sorted over the weekend. If not, there'll be another update coming early next week. Once everything is sorted, check-in sent over, pictures will all be taken as usual. And yeah, I'll let you know exactly what's been going on. But hope everyone's good, and I'll catch you all soon. What is good, people? Hope you are well. It is Monday morning and we are £1.50 down on average this week, which is good to see because the weight was getting a little bit sticky at one point. So I was slightly concerned that things weren't going to move forward as I wanted them to. But £1.50 down on average, really, really good to see. And that comes just in time for check-in will happen tomorrow. So again, as usual, I will update you once Christian's got back to me. I'll pop the pictures up just so you can have a little look and see what's going on. I feel like I'm getting that little bit leaner week to week, which is what you should expect to see. I've had a few funny old sessions in the gym this week, a few that have just felt really, really tired. But then I had an absolutely amazing leg session yesterday, just felt strong, hit some PBs, just completely got out of my own head and just completely tuned into what I was doing. And yeah, just had an absolutely awesome session. So that was really, really cool. Mum and dad are still here, so just managing everything around that as well, which comes with its challenges, but you know, that's what life's all about. So just trying to get, you know, as much of my work done in the mornings as possible, which frees up the afternoons to spend with everyone. Louis off the childminders, Lara's off work, so just trying to make sure that happens. And Lara and I are off to Amsterdam this coming weekend. So part of my early 40th birthday celebrations, Lara very kindly is taking me off to Amsterdam. So that's an early start on Friday morning. We're gonna have to be on a train at about 5:43 in the morning from where we live to get into Paris to then get to Amsterdam. My mum and dad will be watching Louis for a few days, and I am a little bit nervous. I am a little bit apprehensive about leaving him for the first time, but it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, I don't want to go too much into too much detail this week. I'm just trying to make the most of time with the family. As I say, the weather's not been the kindest, so we've been trying to sort of dodge the showers, make the most of time spent. And I think this week could be a little bit similar. I don't think the weather's looking great, but we're hoping there's going to be a couple of moments in there. Just generally trying to keep on top of things, you know, even when it comes down to food and stuff, like, you know, I'm not subjecting everyone to, you know, the fact that I am dieting and I'm very much focused on doing what I'm doing. Most of the time it means like evening meals are prepped the same, like base evening meal, but I will just separately portion mine up. I'll cook my portion of carbs separately. Same for lunches, like everyone else might be having a bit more like picky style lunches, whereas I'll just have mine, you know, very much prepared and planned. And that's just how I like to do things. So, you know, most of the time I'm cooking because I like to cook as well, so I can be a little bit more in control of that. But yeah, it's all going very well. We're looking forward to, another week with mum and dad here, off to Amsterdam at the weekend. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. So next week's video, I'm hoping is going to have a decent bit of Amsterdam-based footage, because that is the plan, to get a decent amount of footage recorded while we're away and make it very much a little bit of a vlog style thing. So we shall see, because I'm not very good at picking up the camera all the time. But anyway, I will touch base with you all tomorrow. Hope you're good, and yeah, see you in the next one. So check-in sent, check-in reply received, and it's pretty much business as usual. As I mentioned yesterday, another £1.50 down on average. So very much just about sort of managing things for this next week while we've got guests, while we're going away at the weekend. And then hopefully when life becomes a little bit more settled again, we'll probably have another decent push just to get things really moving in the right direction. That said, I mean, £4 down in 2 weeks is very, very solid progress. You know, if I was averaging £2 a week for the next 12, 13 weeks, I'm very much going to be in a good spot to be ready a little bit early, which is always the plan. So I will pop the pictures up just so you can have a little look at those. Little changes happening. As I say, I am starting to see a few more things taking place. You know, the obliques, I think, are getting a little bit sharper. The sort of back area, that Christmas tree area, is starting to come in that little bit more. So fat loss is definitely happening. It's been a challenging week in terms of just getting everything in. I've been tired. There's been a lot going on, just trying to play host, to make sure that I'm present with everyone. But these are the challenges that everyone goes through in life. And, like I said at the very beginning of this, I want to be very open and honest about the fact that, me getting ready for a photo shoot in a period where it's not like I've just got 3-4 months of nothing happening. There is a lot going on. It is busy. And, it's how we manage those situations that we see things change. So I will overcome them, because I always do. And it's also where I have the support of my own coach. Like, that is a big part of it, because when I get in my own head about stuff and I think things aren't going my way, I've got Christian there as a coach from a physique point of view. I've got Andy there as a coach from a life point of view. I've put myself in places and invested in things that I know I need at this moment in time to manage through these situations. So pictures you will have seen, we're just about getting where we need to be. Next week's vlog will hopefully include a decent bit of Amsterdam footage. And I'm also just going to pop a little bit of Louis loving at the farm yesterday to finish this one off. So enjoy a little boy, very much enjoying himself, feeding the animals, having fun on the swings, and just generally being a very happy little chappy that he is. So I'll catch up with you all next week. Have a good one.